Hey y'all, hi. I got a little bit carried away putting on my brows off camera. I got really locked in, went kind of too far. So the hope is that today, trying new makeup, putting on a bunch of products that I've never tried before, and some interesting things actually. I think some interesting things. Hopefully I can also manage to apply an amount of makeup and a kind of makeup that will balance out these intense brows. If you happen to be new to my channel and you like this, consider subscribing. I also make fashion content. It's about half and half these days, beauty and fashion. I am also the author of a prize-winning book of poetry, which I will link at the top of the description box below. And now let's get into the meat of the video. As always, my lips are dry as a bone, so I'm going to start with something lipsy. You know what? I'm torn because Versed has come out with makeup. They sent me some things. I kind of want to do a whole video. They only sent me the brush and 3 makeup products. I kind of want to do a whole Versed video because there are a lot of really interesting things in the line that they didn't send me. So I don't know if I want to get into that today because maybe I should save it and just do a whole video, but I can't help myself. I'm going to put on the lip product. Okay, wow. An immediate obsession. I am definitely going to place an order for some of the rest of the Versed makeup things, Versed, if only to get another color of this, my new favorite lip product. This is perfect. This one is in the shade Bake. My fear was that it would be too pigmented. It's not. It's really lightly pigmented. It's very sheer. My other fear was that it would be too melty and slidey and slide all over the place. It's not. It has body. It's a little bit plumping too, a little bit stimulating, a little bit minty. I feel like I can end the video right now. This is absolutely a find, a gem. This is the kind of thing that I just love to grab and slather on. This would be a contender in the search for the best tinted lip balm because it looks like it would be a glossy balm in here, but it's not. It's just a little bit of a soft chapstick, a little bit more makeup than a chapstick, but much waxier than a traditional glossy balm, which is so melty that it has to be in packaging like this. This feels like it might even be able to hold its own just in a different packaging, but I like that they put it here. Okay, so Versed makeup, there might be more. Maybe I'll look at the other 2 products later in the video, but if I don't, I'll revisit them in a future Versed dedicated video. Wow, an auspicious start. Oh, I'm also going to put on these earrings. I have been so excited to share these for a number of reasons. These are by a small brand called Kosakh. They were sent to me as PR. You know, the design is really interesting. It's this drippy pearl chains with organic shapes, but it also loops around, the back and the front connect. I mean, you can see, I don't have to describe it to you. It's just really interesting, dramatic, but super wearable. And I love that combination. And the other thing about this brand is that they're obsessed with everything being waterproof. So even though it's not 14 karat gold, it's some kind of plating that's proven never to wear away. And they have a lifetime guarantee about that. So, and they're really intense about it. It's not just something that they say. It's at the heart of the brand. And I love jewelry that I can wear in the shower. And I'm not showering in these every day. This is the kind of thing I would like to have these. I was going to a pool party and know that I could wear them and get in the water. Wow, we're off to a great start, but maybe about to ruin everything because I am going to try this. Here's my thinking. I'm really into bronzing now. I explored bronzing. I explored basically just bronzing my neck and then allowing my face to be more sculpted and not being so obsessed with making my face exactly match my extremely pasty pale neck, especially not now that it's spring and summer. And the bronzing though, I've been kind of keeping to the cheeks, keeping to the areas where the sun would hit. But then because I'm using my regular base product, there's a lot of contrast between my bronzed cheeks and the rest of my face. And in that video about bronzing, which I'll link, the model in the product photography for the Westman Atelier bronzing drops, it really looked like her whole face had been bronzed in between the before and after. Every part of her face was more bronze than it was in the before. So it's not just the high points of the cheeks. It's I started that way and now I'm starting to think about what it would be like to embrace a bronzier base. I hope in tiptoeing down this path that I might become more able to work with tinted sunscreens and tinted base products. So this is going to be an experiment in that. This is the Kosas DreamBeam Sunlit Comfy Smooth Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 40 PA Quadruple Plus Water Resistant 80 Minutes. It's a skincare powered mineral SPF. It's gray. So ordinarily I would see this and I would be like, no way, no how, right? This is going to darken my skin. But what I want to do is see if I can work with that. And I like that it has sort of a grayish tint instead of being orange. This is giving me like high school nightmares, like bringing me back to when I was first trying to experiment with makeup and skincare of any kind as an awkward youth. And I would put stuff on like this that was supposed to be universal. And I would be like, what? Oh no, it's really orange. Okay, here's the thing. This is sunscreen, right? So I have to put on a sunscreen amount. I can't rub it off or like try to only put it on my cheeks or something. It's supposed to protect the skin, but it's very bronze. It's very like shiny bronze. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. This is crazy. I totally look sunburned very badly on my face. The texture is fine. It's really thin and almost oily. And in fact, as I was rubbing it on my forehead, it kind of picked up some of the skincare that I had on from way earlier. Not too badly though, so I think it's probably still tenable. If this shade will work for you in the everyday, then I actually think it's a really nice option. The texture is really nice. I wish it had retained that like gray neutral color though. There were like metallic bronze particles lurking in it that seemed to sort of burst onto the scene as soon as I started buffing it out. Can I work with this though? As somebody who's recently embraced bronzing, can I work with this? Should I try the Versed? So Versed has an SPF multi-serum skin tint, but they sent me shade 2N instead of 1N. I feel like this is such an unknown entity. Like this is so wild that I need to use products that I know, right? I need to go for something I'm familiar with. I'm going to use Elise Eldridge skin tint because this is a really good match for my skin. This is a pale olive. I'm going to try to mix it with and slightly sheer it out over parts of my face to give me some coverage of blemishes and stuff and make the color look a little bit more natural. I'm going to have to bronze up my neck as well, but I'm going to see what I can do with my face first with this to try to make it work. Out here, 8 years later, like I've been putting on makeup on YouTube for so long and wearing makeup way longer than that, doing something I've never done before. Okay, so it's like reverse bronzing, right? You heard it here first. Reverse bronzing, a term coined by Annalise Posted, who's never bronzed in her life until 2 weeks ago. Because I just put the skin tint on the parts of my face that I wouldn't apply the most intense bronzer to. So I didn't put the skin tint on my cheeks, the top of my forehead. I guess I did put it sort of across my nose. I tried to keep the skin tint away from the parts of my face where the sun would usually touch and bronze, so that part would be more bronze. Those drops of skin tint went a pretty long way. I am shocked by how relatively normal my face now looks compared to before. It looks good. It looks a little more bronze than it did. Instead of redness, it's now like a healthy bronzeness. I don't want to speak too soon, but I actually think this might work. I'm going to use a powder bronzer on my neck. This is the What's Up Beauty Cheeque Terre bronzer in the shade 10 Light, and I'm using the Refer bronzing brush, the Refer 30. Another thing that happened when I was applying the skin tint was that the skin tint mixed with the sunscreen a bit, and I was able to pull it down partway down my neck because there was like extra tint left over. So some of the bronzing from the sunscreen is like on my neck underneath my chin and like the top part of my neck, but there wasn't enough to pull it all the way down, and I wouldn't want that all over my neck anyway. I don't really want to bronze my shoulders. I'll do it a little bit. They are really a different color from the rest of me. I'll like hit the high points so that they blend in a little bit. I don't want bronzer all over my body. I'm not about that life. And my hope is that there will still be parts of my face that are going with the rest of my body so that it doesn't look too different. And just like the baseline is a bit sun-kissed looking. And we've kind of gotten there. It's interesting when I'm bronzed, my blemishes don't stand out as much and I don't feel like I need to cover as much as I usually do. Here's Natasha Denona Y1. It's a little darker than my usual skin tone. Hopefully it'll blend in with what's going on here. Okay, especially under the lights, under the beauty lights, that has helped a lot with blemishes that were standing out and scars that were standing out. You can still see some, and in person you really can see it, but I feel like it makes my face look more natural. Like it makes it look like I actually got a tan, which I don't tan. I don't mind it. And I have some blemishes under here. Those are hard to cover. I really don't mind it. Maybe like a tiny bit more. Literally, who is she? This is so wild and such a fun place from which to play with other makeup. So I have these Cashmere Matte Eyelights from RMS. They sent me, I think, all of them, and I'm just going to hold them up so you can see how pretty the colors are. I feel like today I could really get into some Mossy Stone or some Tundra Taupe. Let's see what those ones look like. I can't even look at myself. Mossy Stone is really dark and Tundra Taupe is really light. Would be really subtle, I think. Sort of getting like weird and pilly as I blend them out of my hand. I'm a little worried. Maybe neither one of these is the color that I want. Although I guess I had the sunscreen on the back of my hands. Could have just been pilling on that. Now that I'm a bronze goddess, this is what I want. This is Dusty Trail. It's a little peach. It's peacher than I would usually want something to be, but I feel like I can take it right now, right? I feel like it's going to work. Maybe. Let's try it. Okay, a couple of things have gone wrong. One, I got too much on the brush. I don't know. I thought it would be maybe lighter and moussier. A little kind of went a long way and there was way too much on my eye. And so I wasn't able to buff it out into as thin a layer as I wanted. Also, I don't like how peach it is. I got cocky. It was too much. I'm going to remove it and try a different color. Okay, so this is Tundra Taupe, which is also kind of peach. Like once I have it on, it also ends up looking kind of peach. But it's a pale enough peach that it's working for my skin tone, even my bronze skin tone. It's actually looking kind of great. I really like it. Okay, I'm going in on my left eye with the brush. I used my finger on the right eye and went carefully and, you know, it didn't blend out perfectly, but it's fine. The left eye, I'm having a much harder time with it. It seemed fine. I went a little bit at a time and it seemed fine and then it started sticking and then it dried and now it's patchy and it seems like it was probably user error because I don't work with this kind of eyeshadow very often, but that tells you that if you don't, you might have the same error, right? You might have the same problem. It's sad because I really like it. It's also one of those things I find with this kind of eyeshadow. Often up close, I'll be like, oh, it looks so bad because I don't have that airbrushed blend that I want to see. Then when I'm just wearing it around, no one can note it. Like no one's looking at it being like, your eyeshadow looks patchy. It's actually fine. I'm going to try to fix it, but I just feel like it's going to build up more and more and look worse and worse. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. I like the color a lot, weirdly, but I'm having a hard time working with the formula. I want to take it off. I like the colors, the texture is nice and moussey, and maybe there's a learning curve that I just haven't ridden yet, and so I don't really know how to make it look good, and I just don't want to try a third time to rescue it. Yeah, I took it off. I took it all off, and I'm just gonna put a little, well, let me see if I have anything else that could go on my eyes. It's sad. Some people really love liquid eyeshadows, right? And these, they look so beautiful, and I think if you're good at working with this kind of thing, there's potential, but I just don't know if it's gonna be for me. Here's what's happening. I have this NARS palette. This also came in PR. Ordinarily, I would just give this away because this is clearly for someone who bronzes and is into these like brighter, peachier colors. I'm gonna try Laguna 3, which is what this is, and also Electra, which is the highlighting powder. And I'm going to bring the bronzer onto my eyes. I'm gonna use it as eyeshadow. Actually, I'm gonna start there. I'm immediately so glad that I decided to wipe off that eyeshadow and do this instead. This is so much more my speed. In that bronzing video where I bronzed for the very first time in my life, one of you in the comments said, I didn't like it until you put it on your eyes. And I literally think about that every time I bronze now, which is every day. Going in with the big brush. No, NARS. Okay, at first I thought I was flying a little too close to the sun, and I might still feel that. I might have flown a little too close to the sun because this is a more traditional bronzer, so it has like those orange undertones that don't really suit me as well. But it did blend out really well, right? I put too much in a small spot on this cheek to begin with, and it blended out really well. It's, as ever with NARS, the formulas are amazing, and it's just the colors with which I struggle. Let's try the highlight. What is it, 2016? Okay, so I put it on just in a traditional way. It did glaze me. I went back over with the bronzer brush to kind of make it more one with the skin. I'm into it, okay? I'm into it. I think that the tinted sunscreen as a base worked. I feel, funnily enough, like I'm working with my redness instead of against it. And that's a really nice feeling. I feel like very in my skin. I think adding it to the lids did a lot. I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara, but even if I didn't, I feel like it still looks good to have bronzer on the lids there. And just as before, and just as I've said, the little blemishes and stuff are just not bothering me. Continuing on with things that I've never done. I don't curl my lashes, but I got this lash curler in PR and I'm gonna try it. This is from BK Beauty. I feel 9th grade slumber party vibes over here right now. This is how you do it, right? Oh my God, y'all. It didn't do anything. I don't think I held it for long enough, or maybe I didn't pinch it hard enough. Maybe it did something and I can't tell because I didn't put mascara on yet. I can see it pinching my lashes up. I can see that it's pinching them up. It did curl them. Let's put mascara on and see. The caliray mascara, kind of my go-to right now. It didn't do that much. Maybe I didn't squeeze hard enough. Maybe I didn't hold it down for long enough. It did a little bit though. My lashes already have sort of like a gentle lift, especially when I use the mascara to lift them. They have a little bit of a curve. One time, a really long time ago, I curled my lashes like aggressively and I looked very doll-like, which especially when I was younger, I didn't like that little girl doll eyes vibe. And you know, I still don't want to look like that, but it might be that there's something more for me to be gained right now from like getting my lashes curled up out of my eyes because, you know, so much has changed as I've aged. So I'll keep playing with that. Where do we go from here? What else is there to try? I don't really want to put like a blush on. I feel like bronzer is enough. There's enough color in my face. It doesn't look weird without blush, I don't think. I love the lip product from Versed, but let me try one of these. This is a NARS product as well. This is a lip oil from NARS. This is in the shade Wondrous and it looks really pinky purple. I don't think I will like that. And this is in the shade Orgasm, which looks pretty sheer. It's not going to do much for me though. Let's use a lip liner. So I've actually been using the Merit lip liners a lot. They are a gel semi-sheer lip liner, which is a little bit weird. They have like a sheen to them, which is a little bit weird for a lip liner, but I just can't stop wearing them. I love the colors. They're pretty grungy. They're really easy to wear and they're not as short wearing as I feared. Like I was worried that they just would wear off right away because of the formula, but they have like decent longevity. So that's Sportif. Isn't the color beautiful? And I've just been using them as all over lip colors, especially this one and Bespoke. Bespoke is the king and the queen combined. Bespoke is a really, really great color. I needed something to make sense of all this bronzy glossiness, you know? And so something to ground the look. That lip, I feel, did it. I needed something sort of matte on the lips to balance it out, I feel. And, you know, this is just a sheer lip oil, so it wouldn't have done much. But it feels like it has body, though. It doesn't feel like watery. It feels like a thin gloss. So that's kind of exciting. I guess I should put it on to test it, because that's what I'm here to do. Okay, here it is. The NARS. I'm going to use my finger so that I won't get lip pencil into there. That's beautiful. Once again, I'm like a broken record about NARS. They nail it with the formulas every time. It feels like they really are giving what I want with the formulas, and then the colors fail to excite me. Both of these colors have failed to excite me. I wonder if this comes in another color. Because here's the thing. So many times I've talked about how lip oil is misused as a label for products. Many things that are labeled as lip oils are incredibly watery and thin, and they feel like they aren't going to stick on the lips and aren't going to provide any kind of nourishment. It's just like a watery oil that soaks in and kind of disappears. This to me feels like exactly what I imagine the platonic ideal of a lip oil, okay? It's really thin, like watery oil consistency, not like a thick goopy oil, but it's very present and it's staying very present. It has like a lip gloss level of stick-to-itiveness, but it's still really, really thin. It also feels nourishing and it has that shine. It has like an oily shine. I'm excited to play with those some more. I think it's a little bit hard to tell fully what's going on because there was so much lip pencil underneath, like so much color underneath, but I'm excited to play with that more and to see if they have any other colors. We're done. We did it. It turns out that I can wear tinted sunscreens and tinted primers. It just needs to be on a bronzy day. And I have to do some work around the edges with my neck, maybe even my shoulders to make it make sense. There really is a lot going for a product like that. I might wear that Kosas thing again. I mean, it's the kind of thing that for years, every time something like this has come in PR, I do one swatch and I'm like, no way. No, thank you. No way. Absolutely not. There's just no way to make it work because when I was first putting it on, I looked wild and it seemed like there was no way to make it work. Frankly, it's a whole new world. So thank you for being with me at this momentous moment in my life. This Rubicon I've crossed. I hope it's been relaxing to spend this time with me. And I really hope that you are taking extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.